All right, and finally, the holy grail of all physics problems, right? The height of difficulty, perhaps, right? So we have to do kinematics, right? So we got the velocity, it stops, we got a distance, right? And we want to know the tension in the rope, right? So we're going to do this first. And then we're going to do force minus weight equals m times a, right? So this is basically F equals ma, right? But the tension, right, minus the weight would be the sum of all the forces. So let's do this first, though. Let's figure this out. So it's going upward at 5.3. So positive 5.3. Final velocity is 0. Now, if you're looking at this, if we go from 5.3 to 0, this is going to be a negative acceleration. Okay. Let's see. Stops in a distance of 2.8. And we don't care about t, so we're going to use vf squared. Right? So 0 squared is 5.3 squared plus 2 times a times 2.8. Okay, so let's see. 5.3 squared, 28.09, so negative 28.09. I'm putting it on this side of the equation, right? Is 2 times a times, right? And now we're going to take that and divide that by 2, divided by 2.8. And I get the acceleration is negative 5.0161, I'll say. Okay, so now we're set. Now this minus sign just means it's accelerating down. That should be obvious, right? If we stop moving up, right, then we accelerate down. If we stop moving down, we accelerate up, and etc., right? So we got to be very careful about this. This minus sign matters, right? So let's pop that baby in here, right? Some unknown force minus the weight of the object, right? Well, the weight is 15.68. That being 1.6 times 9.8. Right, so F minus 15.68 is equal to 1.6 times negative 5.0161, like that. The minus sign there comes from the math. It's important. This minus sign is always there. It's the force of gravity is always down, right? So literally I'm going to go 1.6 times that answer right there, right? And then I'm going to add 15.68. And I get 7.654. Newtons, right? And that's a positive number. So that means it's upward. Yay. Notice that force is less than the weight, right? So when it's accelerating down, that force is less than the weight. If it's accelerating up, that force, the tension will be more than the weight, right? That being the unknown force.